Hello, everyone, and welcome to a 30-minute growth session with me, your host, Dr. Lisa L. Campbell. Today's topic is about reflection and gratitude. One of the things that I am so grateful for is 32 years in the healthcare industry. And I'm grateful because I really haven't experienced having to struggle with getting employment. But then also, I've been blessed to teach in my profession for the last 25 years. 1997, a younger version of me decided I want to impact the future generation of healthcare professionals. So I started teaching medical assisting and eventually, very quickly, quite honestly, started teaching medical coding and medical billing. And I personally learned it on the job. In fact, I was forced into coding, billing, medical records, like everything outside of medical assisting. I was forced into doing the work. And so I never had to struggle with getting employment. So now, it's 25 years later of me teaching. And I made a decision this year that I was going to stop teaching coding. And I know many of you are going to be shocked, especially those of you who have had classes with me. You've seen my coding videos, and you probably are wondering why. Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm tired. And why am I tired? Well, it seems that we've gotten to this point where everyone wants to become a medical biller and coder, like it's one job, and everybody wants to work from home, and everybody is thinking that it's such an easy process. And what I am finding is a lot of schools are flooding the industry with professionals, some who have taken that step and become certified in coding, some who have not been able to pass the national exam, some who have taken the exams multiple times, haven't passed, and honestly, lots of professionals that are new, no experience, and actually don't know how to code. They got into coding so that they can make $80,000 a year and work from home. Well, listen, when you're working from home, you have to actually work. Coding is in a state of transition. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. Machine learning is here to stay. We've had some type of automation of coding for years via natural language processing. And so I'm tired because I'm hurting. And why am I hurting? People want to enter the profession that I love for financial gain, not because it's something that they want to do. And then we have schools that are diploma mills that are passing people through the pipeline of their program. And I show up excited about the industry, excited about teaching, doing an amazing job at teaching the subject matter, breaking it down, building video resources and all the things. And I'm constantly bombarded with emails about, in your class, I no longer have a 4.0 GPA. No one cares if you have a 4.0 GPA. They want to know, can you do the job? Even with certifications, you're still going to be tested by a lot of employers. They're going to test you for your ability to actually code, but they actually want to see if you have a higher level of emotional intelligence. How do you get along with the team? And so I was on social media recently on LinkedIn, and I posted that I'm going to be doing this 12 days of ICD 10 PCS on my YouTube channel because we're going to call this my last year of coding, teaching coding. And I saw an individual on LinkedIn who gave me just a slight renewed sense of not all new coders are like that. There are some coders that are brand new that really want this. And so I'm scrolling through LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn every single day, 7 days a week. And I ran into someone who was capturing their journey towards getting that first coding job. I saw that they had the credentials, the CCS, right, which is a really hard exam for me when I took it. The CPCA, they're posting about the journey, the number of resumes that they sent out, the number of interviews that they had. And I said, you know what? That's someone that really, really, really wants to be a coder. And I said, you know what? I've got to interview this individual because the world needs to know about their journey. I wanted to use my close to 10,000 followers as a platform for them because this person needs to be hired into a coding position because they have proven to me as a seasoned professional that they want it. They are living and breathing coding. And I don't see that. All too often, people post about the negative side. No one wants to hire me, and it's not fair, and all the things, right? But this person, day after day, week after week, is posting their journey in a positive manner. That person has shown me that they are not giving up on this journey. And so I am going to interview this person because I want you all to see who I've been seeing, and I want you to see them too. I want you to inbox them and tell them about positions that you have available, your words of wisdom. We don't need any spammers and anybody who's here for all the foolishness, because this person is dedicated to getting a job. Now, I've never taught this person, so I don't know how they were in school, but I can tell you if I was teaching that person in their program, I would have been walking elbow to elbow with that person through their journey, because just from reading the posts, they want it. So I'm going to bring this person in, and I have to make sure that I say your name right. So wait, let me take a deep breath and say Rivka.
You got it. Rivka.
I only practiced about 10 times, right? So I'm so happy that you agreed to be here today, and I would like for you to take us back to the beginning of your journey where you decided that you wanted to be a coder, you enrolled in your program, and just walk us through where you are today.
I love that story. And I'm going to go back a little bit further to tell you how I came across medical coding. I've actually been an entrepreneur for most of my adult life since the age of 16, so about 30 years. And it served me at that point in time for those years in my life. But there came a point when I was like, okay, I have time. I can work for an employer now, and I won't have to deal with all the administrative headaches that come along with running your own business. but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I do know my brain loves to learn, it's curious, and it does not want to be bored. I cannot do a job that's boring. I can't. And I have a sister. Last year, she became a medical coder and she got into it and landed her job. And then she started talking to me. She's like, Rivka, I really think that you would be great at this. I think this is suited for you. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for something. So she shared with me what was entailed, and she brought her books over and was showing me how you look up codes. And honestly, I'm lost, but it did sound interesting. So I started researching, and I wanted to find out what would I be doing in this job, what is needed. And as I researched, I found out more and then had more questions. So it went to, how do you become a coder? Okay, you need to go to school for education. Oh, there's these things called certifications. And okay, so I did a lot of research on schools and certifications. And in the end, I picked the Andrews School because they've been around since 1989. They have a reputation for training their coders to work, not just to pass a test. And they train their coders so that they are prepared for both CPC and CCS exams because they've been taught how to code from scratch, both inpatient and outpatient. All these settings. I was like, yep, that's where I'm going. So I signed up, and yeah, I started January 2nd of this year, and I graduated October 19th. I got my CPCA on July 15th after I finished the third module at Andrews. The fourth module is the inpatient coding. And so I finished that October 19th, and then I got my CCS on October 25th.
I love the fact that you actually researched the profession because, again, I've been teaching for 25 years, and so many learners basically go off of what the admissions person tells them. The admissions person has never coded a day in their life, and they got a friend that's in the program, and the friend's like, I got it, like posting on Facebook, I got all A's, and like they know how to code when they actually just kind of know how to code a one liner, or know how to do multiple choice. But real world isn't multiple choice. So, okay, so I like the school journey. I like the fact that you actually researched before you dove in. So that's great. So now I didn't realize you just finished. So this gets even
I
better.
just
All right. So now talk to us about how you are. I don't know if you call it blogging, vlogging, but you are walking us through your job search journey.
That is part of my personality, and I've done this kind of thing since I was little. I'm an educator at heart. In fact, most people don't know I have 5 children and I homeschooled them. 3 of them graduated, and that's why I have time to work for somebody now. But as far as sharing my journey into medical coding, um, this job hunt has been terrifying me since I made the decision to get into medical coding. When I was in high school, I tried to get a job, and it was a terrible job market or something. No one would hire me, and it left me feeling worthless, honestly. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to job hunt if I'm going to become a medical coder. So I have been preparing since February. And part of that preparation has been making myself visible on social media in positive ways. And that includes sharing my journey, because it hasn't just been that I've been sharing the job hunt. If you go back through my posts, I started back in February sharing what I was learning, what I was working on as I completed modules, as I started modules. I made a carousel sharing how I abstract information from the medical record and went through steps. It's 3 basic steps, and I made that for new coders. I've been sharing the whole way along, the whole journey through, because I like to help others. And if what I go through can help someone else, I'm happy to share it. And I would prefer to be a guinea pig and help people avoid mistakes that aren't necessary. So that's my hope in all the sharing that I do, including sharing my job hunt journey, if you want to call it that.
So let's talk about that job hunt journey. Just give us, a couple of weeks worth of what your process looked like.
Like I said, the preparation was laid starting back in February, and that included, at that time, I started creating a spreadsheet of potential employers. When I saw a company hiring medical coders, I didn't know about the varying levels and certifications and all that. I just knew at that point they hired medical coders. So I would locate the link to their career portal and I would capture that in my spreadsheet along with their name. So I have a list of about 350 employers at this time. I still add to it as I come across new ones. But when I am job hunting, that is one of my primary sources. I will go through that spreadsheet every week or two because employers don't always have postings listed and you never know when someone's going to add something. So I'll go through that. I don't go through it all in one day. That's too much work, but I'll visit all the career portals. And since I am specifically looking for a coding position, I typically use the keyword coding or coder on their career portal and see what pops up. Then I'll click through, assess the job listing. I have learned over time that it's best for me to apply to positions where experience is preferred but not required. The ones that are required, I know there are plenty of people who do apply to those with no experience, and sometimes they get hired. But I found the chances for me are high that my application is just going to be rejected. I would rather put my effort where it has a greater possibility of being noticed and moved at least to a phone screen. So I look for positions where experience is preferred, but not necessarily required. And I also have found, I believe it's revenue cycle management companies. I forgot the other name for them, but say places like Excite Health or Lexicode, places like that where they are doing the work for the health systems or the providers. They contract with them. Those are harder to get into without experience because their contracts require that the coders have experience. And there's no getting around that. It's in the contract. So I look at my criteria. I see if I fit the requirements for the open position. I see if that position fits my requirements because I do have a list of requirements. And I'm not just going to apply to just anything. If both sets of requirements match, then I go ahead and apply. And I record it on my spreadsheet so I know where I've applied, what the position entails, the date I applied. If I have contact information for anybody, the hiring manager or recruiter, I add that to the spreadsheet. I also, at that time, copy into a PDF the job description because I found that those get taken down when the position is closed. A lot of times the job description disappears. So when I make sure I have that, when it comes time for an interview, I print off that job description and I know exactly what I'm supposed to be talking about.
I
So that's
am just,
basically.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away. First of all, this spreadsheet. Um, I'm speechless and I'm touched at the same time because it is clear to me that you want this because
I do.
putting in the work did not end with just the school aspect. You
No, that's
realize,
the start.
yes, you realize that okay, the price of admission is certification. Okay, I got that. I got the training. I also saw where you posted about resources that you're using, you're continuing to practice. So a couple of things I would say. I do agree that a lot of times vendors that have contracts with hospitals, they do want someone that's experienced because they're trying to do this production type work, and they have to have a certain quality level. They may not have someone that can mentor you. I wish I would have met you 10, 12 years ago. I was a director of coding for, it's kind of like one of those companies where the organization outsources the work. But what I created were positions specifically for new coders, and I had a trainer that could partner with the new professional and help get them to that point. I think one problem is, first of all of you who are looking for a job look the same, right? From a resume perspective, you look the same on paper, and people don't really have the opportunity to get to know you, right? I think I've gotten to know you from your post, but then now having this conversation with you, I've gotten to know you more, and you are definitely not a typical candidate. You want this so bad, but let me tell you something else you're showing. You've been dedicated since you enrolled in the program, which in my opinion means you're going to be even more dedicated when you get the job. You're going to be an asset to the organization. On top of the fact that you worked in the entrepreneurial space, so you know about being responsible. You know about how important the bottom line is. You have those emotional intelligence skills and relationship building skills. You are the total package. So any decision makers who are hiring across the airwaves, I need you to contact me, because I'm going to make sure that we have this direct communication, because this is an individual who is not looking for a job so that they can make $80,000 a year and work from home and not have to worry about child care and all these things. And they're going to be on the beach in Jamaica with their laptop coding. This is a professional who is going to add value to the organization. Spreadsheet experience, right? So you know more than just flipping through the manuals. You understand the process through and through. And in my humble opinion, you make an amazing candidate, employee, someone that really can take a department to the next level. I see that. I see that. And again, 25 years, and I would say the last 15, I've dealt with students that they didn't even know what coding was. They didn't even know the difference between coding and billing. And then when you see those job ads, or not job ads, but ads for schools, it's always medical billing and coding, when they're two totally separate jobs. Yes, in some smaller settings, and I'll use an example. When I worked as a medical assistant, I was doing everything. Like, I was thinking, I'm clinical, right? I'm in the room with the physician, and they were like, no, you're going to be registering patients. You're going to be typing up claims on a typewriter. You're going to be following up with insurance companies. You're going to be retrieving medical records. You're going to be making sure that the medical record has all the forms in it. So it was a box of loose forms. I was putting all the forms in it, making sure the doctor signed them. Oh, we got a lab. Let me make sure that the doctor signed off on the lab. I can feel you are that total package. And you really, now I still probably, I don't know, I'm going to do this 12 days of ICD-10 PCS coding starting on Saturday, but in my heart, I only want to work with individuals that really want to do the work. And as an entrepreneur myself, I have hired new coders. And one of the things that was challenging for me as a small business, I struggled with managing the project, but also having to support the professional who wasn't hungry, right? Who was asking me questions that were in the CPT manual or in the diagnoses manual, didn't understand why we use Coding Clinic and CPT Assistant and why we go to Medicare claims processing manual and all these things. And it was just the person who wanted the money. And after a while, it wore me out. It wore me out because I wanted it more for them. And this is me. If somebody gives me an opportunity before work, after work, I'm going to be researching. I'm going to be ready during my shift to give my all to show this person, oh, she really, really wants it. She's excited about it. She's positive. So I really applaud you on your journey from February to present. I know that you are going to get that job and help that organization go to the next level. I can see you actually being a part of a system where they're growing their own coders internally and you being a part of that process. In fact, I know someone at a company that does this, and I'm going to make sure that he gets access to this video because they are a virtual company, if you will. And I can see you doing so many things because your skill set is above and beyond coding. And I know you want it. So now you know I'm going to have to go back to February to your page to see your posts because most certainly I know you want it. So these 30-minute sessions that I do every Wednesday, I started doing them in July. I do them to help others, but in the process, it helps me at the same time. And since today's episode is about gratitude and reflection, are there any closing thoughts that you want to say? What do you want to say to your future employer that is going to be bringing you in as a part of their organization to take them to the next level?
And know that opportunities are earned. And so I appreciate. Are you having trouble hearing me?
You know what? That was me trying to mute myself, but I was muting you, so I'm going to mute myself again.
Shall I start over?
Yes.
Okay. So I thought it was interesting you mentioned gratitude because whenever I am employed, I know that opportunities are earned. They don't just drop in your lap. It sounds kind of funny, but opportunities are presented most often when you've done work that has prepared you for that opportunity. And so I will be grateful for whoever gives me that opportunity. They see the work, they see that I'm qualified, and like you said, I'm hungry. I want this. I love coding. I'm not in it for the money, like you said. I'm not in it just to work from home. I'm not in it to have an easy job. You saw the post I listed today with all the red flag reasons for people getting into coding. No, I love this. And I'll tell you, PCS coding is my favorite. I absolutely love that. But yes, I want them to know I do the best I can. I want to learn. I want to know when I'm doing something wrong so I can fix it. So I will always give you my best. And when it's not right, I want to know so that I can do better. And I hope that makes sense.
Oh, it does. And as I'm sitting here having this conversation with you, I'm getting emotional because I know how bad you want this. But not only how bad you want it, you deserve it. You deserve it because you've put in the work. But also, you are learning faster than you're growing. So when you get to that job, all the work you put in before is going to meet you there. And it's going to carry you the rest of the way because I know you're going to continue learning and growing, and growing. And that's the name of the game. And I like the fact that you mentioned that you earned that place. You're absolutely right. You earned your spot on a coding team. You absolutely have.
Thank you.
So, I want to thank you for being willing to be vulnerable and have this conversation. And I do promise you that I am, once this episode airs and the link is available, I am going to be sharing it and inboxing it and texting it to folks that I know that are decision makers and say, hey, what you got, right? So it's like, it's December. So sometimes, things slow down at the end of the year and they open back up in January. And so I want to push your face and name to anybody that I possibly can.
That is incredible. And I am very grateful to you. I was surprised when you asked me to be on the show, and it's one of those things. There's an opportunity, and I will take it whenever I can, and I'm very grateful for it.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'll make this one last statement. Many people want to get jobs as coders. We don't know who they are. We know
Yes.
who you are because you've shown us who you are. And to me, that speaks volumes. So my commitment to your journey is to spread the word. If I had something that I could give you, I definitely would give it to you. But my role is going to be to shed the word, or spread the word. Too much caffeine now. Spread the word that you are not only available, but you're ready. You're ready for this, and you definitely have earned it. So thank you so much for joining me today. And to everyone else, please be sure to like, subscribe, share the episodes. I am Dr. Lisa L. Campbell, the Growth Motivator, and I help individuals and organizations shed the weight that is holding them hostage. And I'm not talking about physical weight. I'm talking about mental, emotional, just the things that are holding us back from reaching our true potential. Well, today is December 6th, and we will be wrapping up our 30 minutes of growth sessions at the end of this year. And next year, I got something exciting in store for you. Bye bye now.